Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. I am your host for tonight, Nxtgen, Philip Ozier. We are going to see the last round in our DTM World Tour by Nxtgen competition, our last time in these magnificent AMG C-Coupes Mercedes-Benz Race Monsters. Since we are going to leave this platform, Project Cars 1, and everybody will join us hopefully again on Project Cars 2. With Nxtgen, however, we won't be racing these gorgeous race monsters for the very simple fact that they are not in the game, in the new game, in the Project Cars 2. Of course, fantastic choice of other cars. And watch this spot for the future, ladies and gentlemen. We will see some awesome leaks coming up. So our last round in this competition, where we see Haltman provisionally on pole. Haltman is also in for the win of the championship, closely followed by Arky and Scooby G, who hasn't set a time yet, but still has 15 minutes to do so. So that's our top three in the championship, and currently our top three is led, as I said, by Haltman, second closely followed by Arky, and by Case Cage, our new rider for his second outing in this World Tour, and we hope to see a lot of him, of course, in our up and coming leagues, because the boy surely has his speed, as do Jester, as do Lighter Fanny. Lager Fanny. Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to call him Lager Fanny. I hope to be corrected later about this new NGR alias in 5th. We have Dark Sykes in 6th. I am your host, Nxtgen, in 7th, but I will no doubt I will be 9th later on. Dre hasn't set a time yet, and Scooby G also needs to do his homework. We are at Willow Springs International, as I gonna monitor our people on track. Here you see the track of Willow Springs International Motorsports Park. It is located about an hour north of Los Angeles, California, near Lancaster, the district of Lancaster. The original track at the facility celebrated its 65th birthday this year, because the construction of the track began in 1952 and the inaugural event was held in 1953. Of course, its world famous track hosted the first two NASCAR events west of the Mississippi, and the very first 24-hour motorcycle endurance race of the North Americas, the first kart racing race in North America, and also the first California Sports Car Club racing on a purpose-built road course. So the very first purpose-built road course sports car club racing was going on here at Willow Springs. Over the years, track records have been set and broken many times by internationally famous drivers and riders, of course. The main track, ladies and gentlemen, at Willow Springs Raceway is informally called the Big Willow, and it consists of 9 turns, as we see Haltman finishing up the big sweeper, the last turn, and we will pick up the lap with Haltman, so please follow on screen as we make it on the straight. We gonna approach at high speed a 90-degree left-hander called turn 1 Castrol Corner. Here you see it, ladies and gentlemen. And then Castrol Corner is followed by turn 2, the Rabbit's Ear, as you can see on the drawing of the track, clearly a rabbit's ear. A double apex sweeper, then followed by turns 3 and 4, the Omega. It's an uphill and downhill section with camber change. This is the most technical segment of the layout. And then we come through turn 5, a quick left-hander that sets up for the fastest sections of the track. The Monroe Ridge, here you can see the Monroe Ridge on screen. It's a gradual bump. It is common for fast riders on higher powered motorcycles to lift the front wheel over this downhill section. A good line and drive through this turn is essential for a good lap time. Now we are in the repass pass, a slight bend in the track, followed by the high speed right hand corner that leads It is the fastest turn on any racetrack west of Mississippi River, ladies and gentlemen. And of course the last turn 9, where you see now, last turn 9, where we see the turn 9, it's a decreasing radius. It's called the 600 radius. It's a right-hander with a big dip right before the apex. You need to have a good line in turn 9, in the last turn, through it all, because it's crucial for top speed on the front straightaway to the start finish line. There we have it. Turn 3 and 4, it's called the Omega, but also it's popularly called as the Budweiser balcony. Of course, famously, as you saw in the picture, it's famously a kind of a balcony that oversees the whole racetrack for the audience to enjoy that arena feel of racing. As we enter the last 10 minutes in this very last ever qualifying in this DTM World Tour by Nxtgen on Project Cars 1. I've heard a lot of drivers will miss these cars, and it is very sad and inexplicable why Slightly Mad Studios chose not to include these cars anymore. Maybe, yeah, they want to follow realism. DTM is Mercedes is leaving the DTM. However, they have historical cars, but we're gonna have to deal with it. Here we get turn 3, followed by 4. That was the balcony, going down to turn 5 with Haltman. Quick left-hander. And now it sets up the Monroe Ridge. Turn 7, repass pass or wings leg. It's actually just a kink in the road. Then he's in the sweeper, in the very fast sweeper now, coming into the 600 radius. Needs to lift a little bit there, and then you get flung on the straight at 2.4 feet to 2.400 feet long main straight. About give and take 800 meters if we translate this in metric. And we're off in the Castrol corner, the first 90 degree. No, that was the second corner, the Rabbit's Ear, of course. We will see many mistakes in the Rabbit's Ear. It's a very high speed corner. A gigantic carousel, if you are familiar with the Nürburgring track. Let's see what our contestants are doing. Arki following Haltman with only with less than 2/10, so there's still a good chance with 7 minutes to go, and he is on track. Case Cage in 4th, 5/10 down, in 3rd, excuse me. Scooby G in 4th, so Scooby G will have to put a little effort in it if he wants to move up, but I do believe that mathematically Scooby will be 3rd. I do believe that the distance in points is too cumbersome to overcome, too big. Jester in 4th is following Scooby really close, so those are competitive times, as does Lighter Fanny, Lager Funny. I still don't know how to call this, how to pronounce this gibberish in 6th. Let's call him Mr. Gibberish for tonight, and then no doubt at the press conference I will get some more information of this driver's new PSN NGR alias. But for now it will be comedy effect all over this race. Dark Sykes is strong contestant in 7th, very consistent also, and really took part in a lot of races. And then we have our rather new Dre, who will be the 8th contestant in this last race in the DTM World Tour. Ladies and gentlemen, with 5 minutes to go, I am your host, Nxtgen. As you can hear, my voice is a bit dry due to a little cold I am having, so I will excuse myself. I will get a glass of water, and I will be right back for this spectacular last round. Talk to you soon. And ladies and gentlemen, with 3 minutes to go, what do we see? We see Case Cage that pipped Arky with only 0.04 of a second from 2nd place. So Case Cage is now strong contestant for 2nd grid position, followed by Arky in 3rd, where we have seen all season long Arky collecting pole after pole, and we are talking about pole position, not the driver. But Haltman, there is a championship at stake, so I think he is their driver's commentator's curse. Ladies and gentlemen, with 2.5 minutes to go, Arky, Mr. Superman himself. Oh, he just made a mistake, but that was probably after being very joyous behind the wheel, jumping up and down, kissing his wife. He just got pole position. for now with a 1:10.5. Well done, Arky. We're gonna watch closely, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Haltman, keep it together. This is his penultimate lap. So he's in for one more lap. As you know, Project Cars 1, once the clock is down, the qualification stops. So we're gonna follow Haltman. He is in second. So and Scooby G, ladies and gentlemen, is in third, and Cage, who only just was on pole position, is now in fourth. This is very exciting. Down the order we also see some minor changes, but we're gonna stick with Haltman, who is challenging for pole. This looks like a perfect lap so far on screen. Is a bit loose, but these cars are a bit loose when you drive them on the edge. Now watch out with the DRS when he's gonna hit the straight. Do we see an upset, ladies and gentlemen? Can Haltman make it on pole with less than a minute to go? So this is his last lap. He's making a little mistake. He's keeping it together though. No, ladies and gentlemen, he managed to better himself, but with 1/10, there you have it. Arky in first, Haltman in second, Scooby G in third, Cage, strong challenge by Cage in fourth, Jester made it up to fifth, Mr. EBGB in sixth, Dark Sykes seventh, and Dre is closing our line of 8 drivers in 8. We wish all drivers a clean race, a clean last race in our DTM World Tour, ladies and gentlemen, hosted by Nxtgen, and I am your commentator Nickelman. There we have the results. As we prepare for the race, we will have a 20-lap race on this Southern Californian track, Willow Springs in Lancaster. Of course I will have to leave this view, but there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready. Let's see if all goes well. Yes, everyone gets through fairly. Arky's wide. Paul is challenging him already in the rabbit's ear, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. No unnecessary risks in the back. We also saw Jester make a move on Scooby, I think. Jester in fourth still, so Scooby in third. Arky losing contact with Haltman already. Maybe he was shaken a little bit by that overtake. Yes, he's now catching his rhythm. And as we go, oh, there's somebody made it wide. We're gonna pick it up. Dark Sykes in 8th, Dre in 7th, EBGB in 6th, still Cage in 5th. That was a little mistake by Cage. So he's now behind Jester in 4th. Chasing down Scooby in 3rd. And in the distance we see the 2 leaders, but they're not really making... they're not really breaking the toe yet, so the field is still rather compact. Scooby G is following Arky. who is trying to catch up with Haltman. So now we're gonna see our first lap delta. That gives us a little indication, but we still see the distance between the cars, so we have a good indication of where everybody is on track. In the rear we have some incidents, but here is that beautiful battle for third. Now keep it together, boys, and give us some drama at the last laps, but keep it together in this first section of the race, in this first part of the race, so we can get some nice on-track action. There we go. Chester driving aggressively tonight, keeping it clean so far, but really trying to make it on the podium. I know how it feels the last race, especially when you are seeing a possibility. You're gonna wanna take that home with you. Meanwhile, our leading couple, Arki, who is now missing a little bit the track, but it doesn't seem to affect his overall top speed. It was probably a little bit early with the DRS, with opening his rear wing. As you know, you are able to use a rear wing DRS system, drag reduction. There we saw the mistake. No, it's the green of the tire marks. We see Jester in third though. He just overtook Scooby, so we have a battle on our hand. He just missed his turn here. He should try to make it back on track and concentrate. Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's sad, and that is part to do with the game itself. As a Project Cars 1 racer myself, I know how that feels when the game just wants to push the car into a spin. And as I'm talking about it, can Dark Sykes? Yes, Dark Sykes was well off the throttle, and that's usually the only way to get these V8 monsters back on track. You can't really correct them, you just have to pick up the slow pace and steer them out of trouble. Dre is now currently in 6th, so we're gonna see how that pans out later. Here we get back to Case Cage, who is now attacking Scooby G, battling it out. For third, we see Haltman in a strong first position, so we're gonna keep it here because Arki made a mistake, obviously. Arki is now almost holding up Scooby G and Case Cage, so we have a nice pack battling it out for second. Was there a problem or a time penalty for Arki? Did he challenge or did he miss a turn? Who is to say? We were so busy looking at the wonderful racing in midfield that we kind of missed that. As I say, or try to say every week, it is impossible with the current function on this game to keep an overview to every incident, as we want to make it quickly over here, where we already see Jester menacing Dark Sykes. And of course Jester will have the knife between his teeth. He's on the chase. He's the Jack Russell of Leicester. That's your Jester. Dark Sykes making a mistake, and Jester took that "thank you ma'am, thank you very much, please come again." And now he's trying to challenge Dre. it is only fair to also give these tremendous drivers some airtime, ladies and gentlemen, where they show their ability to drive these race monsters on these sandy flat surfaces in the middle of nowhere. Maybe here with the DRS and then some slipstreaming, Jester can make a move, although the first Castrol corner is a sharp left 90-degree. Yeah, we have a little mistake by Dre, and Jester makes it to 6th. Now this gives me time to go to EBGB and then to Case Cage, who is still challenging Scooby, who on his account is challenging the fisherman from Venlo. I don't know where Arky is from. Our fisherman, our Dutch fisherman. In second, he seems to struggle tonight. It is clear that Mr. Haltman in first put some serious distance. There we see it. Haltman is now going in the first left-hander, the Castro corner, and is already in Rabbit's Ear once our little pack battling it out for second and third is entering Rabbit's Ear now. Making it over to the balcony. And then then that quick left-hander there, where Holtman already exited. Now the quick left-hander puts us on the fast piece of the track. Then you have the Monroe Ridge, is just a gradual bump. And then we're already in the sweeper. Turn 8 and then making it to 600 degrees radius on the straight again. Haltman, Arky in second, threatened by Scooby G now, putting on the pressure. He's putting on the kettle, he's screwing the thumb screws tighter and tighter, reeling in the fisherman, who is battling it out also for the championship, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, Haltman must be racing on a pink cloud because, ladies and gentlemen, he already gained his place in the race of winners that will be held later this year, and I wonder whether it will be on Project Cars 2 or 1 actually. That's interesting. Maybe Matt Jordan or Phil Humphreys could later on inform me about that, or give a little post on our Facebook page. The Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, don't hesitate to like it, especially now we have the fantastic Project Cars 2 out with new races and new leagues coming, as well as Formula 1 action and all that. So please check us out on Facebook and on the Winterweb. Now then, will Arky be able to make a fist, or is he too busy fending off Scooby and therefore maybe missing concentration? Who is to say? We have Case Cage in fourth, who is showing us tremendous pace, ladies and gentlemen. A real asset to the Nxtgen Racing League community. Welcome, Case Cage, if I didn't say so last week. Of course I said last week, but ladies and gentlemen, your Nickelman, your host, was called out by the Sony network that for some reason altered the settings in my broadcasts without me altering them, which meant I was talking last week, ladies and gentlemen, during the last round. To my cat, yes, my cat had a fantastic live report. Well, fantastic, I mean, for my standards. Private, shall I say, let's be modest, a private race report. Fred the cat was really interested. Because, ladies and gentlemen, my microphone was not on last week. Well, it was on, but it was not broadcasted on the YouTube channel. Because the settings on my PlayStation were altered by some bizarre, misfortunate bug. Enough said. Case Gage in 4th. We're gonna pick up with EBGB in 5th. And our Jester is already up in 6th. But there you see, ladies and gentlemen, still some distance between Jester and EBGB. So, of course, competitive race lap times. Although we see Jester lapping 8/10ths faster on his fastest lap, but was that just a one-off, or is he now consistently faster? Then maybe he can make it back up to the top 5. We'll see how this pans out, but tremendous job, Jester, from dead last with a way back, making it back up. So just keep your head cool in this sunny desert in Southern California. Willow Springs Motorsport Park is the official name. It's in Lancaster, about an hour north of Los Angeles, and it is hot there. I have been in Lancaster. I have not been at Willow Springs, a race circuit, but I have been in Laguna Seca, for example, and those Southern Californian parts are hot, hot, hot. Although in Laguna Seca we have more of a temperate climate because it's more up north, of course. So there we have it. Haltman first, Scooby second, as we have 8 laps to go. Case Cage, ladies and gentlemen, just made a pass on Arky. We are missing a lot of action today with such few cars on track and still missing a lot of action. So Arky in a bit of a state, in a bit of a situation here. I am very curious, and I hope you with me, what is exactly going on. Again, he missed the track there. This is not Arky's regular driving style. He is usually glued to the racetrack. Very consistent driver, very consistent racer, else you cannot be challenging for the win in this ultimately competitive championship. We also saw him in other leagues and on other platforms performing really well, doing really well in all kinds of disciplines, different cars, open wheel, rallycross, you name it. So I do hope he's not being plagued by a faulty hardware, like I heard later that a couple of races ago was the situation. There he actually even had to retire because his car was undrivable. The steering wheel just didn't communicate anymore. So what will this be? Such bad luck for Arky. Of course, lapping third now is Case Cage, who by no means does not deserve this because he puts in his merit and is clocking a 1:11.0 compared to a 1:10 of Arky. So, you know, there's only 3/10ths in the fastest lap difference. And the last lap, for example, he was over a second faster. So, by no means a slouch. In third, very well done, Case Cage. We have Scooby G in second, battling it out for his... Yeah, a race win is a bit optimistic, I think, with 6 laps to go, because Haltman is already disappearing in the distance again. We see a huge gap between the arrow, Haltman, and the first person to follow, Scooby, is the green dot, and as we cycle through the drivers, we see now Scooby G on screen becoming the arrow, and in front of him is the red dot Haltman, and behind Scooby we have Case Cage. Can Case Cage challenge for second maybe? I do believe this will be his first podium in this league, but will it be his first third or will it be his first second position? Of course, with not that many cars on track and with one person in the pit lane, we have Dre in the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. That is sad. Maybe a technical difficulty. We see Dark Sykes still chowing rubber, boiling away in the Willow Springs desert in 7th. Making some nice corrections there, well done. 1:12.5, faster than his qualifying, I do believe, but I might be mistaken. Jester in 6th. Will he be able to catch up with EBGB in 5th? Of course, I also do have to say that we had some cancellations, and from Nxtgen, of course, we want to say, let me look it up here. We had a driver whose wife is at hospital. Of course, we want to wish her all the best. Let me try to find this message. Well, we see on track Case Cage still challenging Scooby, so Scooby is really under pressure. He shouldn't make any mistake here. Will I find the little announcement of our No, I can't find the exact post, but we do try to find it. No, I can't find it because I'm like looking at the screen because I don't want to miss any action. I can't. So we do wish Miss Race Driver. There we go. We do wish her all the best here. Maybe show this clip, ma'am. I am sorry that you ended up in hospital. I'm sure he didn't mean to beat you that hard. Anyway, we're gonna continue with our race here. As we see, we have 3 laps to go. Tremendous battle here between Case Cage and Scooby G. Sadly enough, we had Arky missing some turns, making some mistakes, picking up some time penalties, no doubt, as we see our 2nd and 3rd placed drivers closing in on Dark Sykes. So Dark Sykes will have the honor and the pleasure to be lapped in this very last race, DTM race, World Tour by Nxtgen Racing Leagues on Project Cars 1. There we go, beautifully done by Dark Sykes. He was aware of the danger in his mirrors. Beautiful, correct move. Of course, he is easy lapped here in the sense that although he's not that much slower, but this is such a small track that, you know, a difference in 1 second or 2 seconds, of course, you only need a couple of mistakes and you will get put on a lap. But by no means any one of these guys is a slouch, because I once raced with all of these guys except the new drivers, and I only managed last position out of a 11 pack. Great competition. It was a great league, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank everybody for supporting us, for taking part in this league, for keeping the score together, for posting useful information. Our host, Mr. Haltman himself, here he is. Give him some airtime. Give the guy a hand. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Leading the championship, Mr. Host, Mr. Haltman, doing a 110.4. In second, Scooby G, still under pressure by the surprise of the past races, Case Gage, the new blood in this league and hopefully in many leagues to come. Well done, sir. My hat, my Nxtgen hat goes off to you, sir. Well done. Now challenging Scooby G in the very last stretch. No, well done Scooby G, well done Case Gage. Arky, well done with your fourth. EBGB later, Fanny and GR, thank you in fifth for taking part, well done. Please drop me a line to say who you are, and Jester, who is of course in sixth. I thought Jester was in front of Dark Size, no doubt that will get corrected later on. Well done Jester, thank you for taking part in this championship. And ladies and gentlemen, I can now officially, there we go, sixth, Jester and Dark Sykes, you close up, close the door, turn off the light, first turn off the light, Sykes, Mr. Sykes, first turn off the light, lock the door, throw away the key, because the DTM is no more. It will never again be. The DTM World Tour hosted by Nxtgen. It was a great initiative. We thank our partners and hopefully we can look for something new together. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Sykes closes down. And there we have our race leader. Of course, Dre was in the pit lane. Mr. Haltman, I was your host, Nxtgen. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me on the internet. We hope that you will follow Nxtgen Racing more closely and maybe take a look at our other leagues. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I will leave the lobby so the guys can record their replay. Thank you for watching and we'll see each other somewhere soon. Bye bye.